It is my pleasure and my privilege to first identify that this is Sunday, August the 11th, 2024, and it is a great joy for me to say, good morning, beautiful people. I am Reverend Vicki Jeter, your minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. Whether you're here with us regularly or if you're with us for the first time today, welcome. We welcome all paths to God and everyone who is seeking spiritual community. Now, for those of you who were able to be with us last weekend, we're coming back from a gathering filled with the kind of love and joy that some of you have said could heal the world, like if we could bottle it and, get it out there. So we are so grateful for that experience that is rolling right through this morning. Some people have said, I'm riding the wave still. And we want you to know that each and every one of you in our community was there in spirit, even if you weren't able to be with us in person. And we do plan on continuing to cultivate that atmosphere and carry it forward in everything we do. And today is actually an exceptional day with respect to our topic, because we're actually having our annual business meeting incorporated into the service. Now, I promise it won't be all business. We're including songs and a sacred reading, and Melba Harris is here to sing live for us today, our special music. Now, I do want you to know that the order of service will be really different, as you might have already recognized. Tammy Evans is our practitioner of the week today, and she'll be available after service for individual prayer support. But during the meeting, at the end, there will be a question and answer period that is separate from our sharing time. Then after the benediction, we'll have our regular sharing time where we can talk about just about anything. Now, it may seem like a business meeting incorporated into a Sunday service is contrary to spiritual inspiration. And I have to tell you, actually, in ministerial school, they recommended you don't do that you have your business meeting separate from a Sunday service. However, I very much encourage everyone to participate with the dedication to healthy structures through which spirit moves in form, in mind. The essence of spiritual community and the business of spiritual community are like two wings of a bird. We soar only with two equally healthy wings. And I have been aware recently that some stuff about structure throughout our society has been coming a little loose at the hinges. How many of you can relate to having said, man, the structure of this is just falling apart? And so today, we spiritually dedicate ourselves to healthy structure for LCSL, which will help to carry us. Consciousness is called for equally in striving for spiritual awareness and in the operations of the center. This is creative principle that applies universally across all of our endeavors, marriages, schools, any form of business, and of course they all have their foundation in spirit, just like church does. If you think about it, in 12-step programs, there's a principle that the more resistance we feel to going to a meeting, the more we need the meeting. Now, I want to suggest that also applies here. As you hear today our review of 2023 and our plans for the next 12 to 18 months, ask yourself if you might invest more attention into the other structures supporting your life as well. So with all of this in mind, I invite you to join me in opening prayer. And we begin as ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you, presence of life, that is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent at all points and all times, at all ways. When we take this kind of time and we consciously turn our direction toward it, we're engaging spirit, meeting us where we show up. Spirit is always present. It's what we do with it that is the fluctuation. And so right here and right now, with all of us cumulatively turning our attention to the one life, one love, one creative essence. I know that this entire meeting is held in grace, divinely guided and guarded to the highest and best for everything about Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. And I am so grateful for the opportunity and for knowing that all of us are in the spiritual classroom learning from this experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And now I invite you to enjoy our opening song, Spirit is in This Place, with Miss Denise Rosier.
Good morning. Get ready to raise the roof. Spirit is in this place. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. Yes. And we have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Ooh. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Let's sing it together. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof and shout of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Yeah! Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Ooh. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Ooh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Spirit is in this place. Let's sing it. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Good morning. Bless you.
And that affirmation just takes us right into our mission and vision. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. And this will take us right into our announcements with our practitioner of the week, Miss Tammy Evans.
Good morning, everyone. Our men's group is this Thursday at 6:30 Eastern, August 15th, and it's via the Zoom link. The next week's speaker, Sunday, August 18th, is Reverend Daryl Jones, The Impact of Othering. And please always remember and don't ever forget that you are magnificent. And it's time for the giving of our gifts. And thank you for all the ways that you support LCSL. Excuse me. The ways to give are in the chat, along with our snail mail, which is LCSL PO Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky 40253. And please join me in affirming today's affirmation. My creativity blossoms in unexpected ways, blessing every area of my life.
Thank you, Tammy. And as ever, all of your affirmations of that come right through the basket, as do all of your time, talents, and treasures. We so thank you for the blessing of everything you give to the center, which cumulatively makes us everything that we are. And so I simply say, thank you, Father, Mother, God, for the universal process of circulation and for our ability to tap into it, knowing that as we give, we receive, and it prospers not only each of us, but everything that any one of us is a part of. And so I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Miss Melba Harris with our special music, which this is her creation. This is her baby. She was telling us this morning that this is one of the very first songs she wrote that is metaphysical. Go ahead, Melba.
I will dare to dream of what you want for me. My hopes and fears I now embrace to live a life that's free to believe that prosperity is mine. It's more than wishful thinking, it's a fact of the divine, and free to let go of the things that hold me down, so that in each waking moment I can see your grace abound. I will dare to dream of what you want for me. My hopes and fears I now embrace to live a life that's free. Divine creator of the world, life giver to my soul, help me to remember that you have made me whole. So my journey starts today like many days before. Peace, love, and joy are the wings upon which my spirit soars. So I will dare to dream of what you want for me. My hopes and fears I now embrace, to live a life that's free. My hopes and fears I now embrace, to live a life that's free.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I have visions of Melba singing me to sleep at night. um, and it's a beautiful opening to our meeting. And I'm going to turn this over to Miss Tammy Evans to officially share with us our Declaration of Principles as a launch to our business meeting.
Okay, the Declaration of Principles. What We Believe by Ernest Holmes. I believe in God, the living Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. I believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in all beings, and that every person is an incarnation of the one Spirit. I believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continued, I'm sorry, I looked at it, continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that I experience this kingdom to the degree that I become conscious of it. I believe that the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of humanity, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. I believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that I am surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of my thoughts and acts upon it. I believe in the demonstration of healing through this power of the mind. I believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I believe in my own soul, my own spirit, and my own destiny, for I understand that my life is God. Here is Dr. Edward Young's Declaration of Principles from April of 22. We envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. We see a world in which each person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principles, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individuality and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought. A world where every person discovers their own personal power and the ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. We envision a world where every person has enough food, a home, a sense of belonging, a world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement, and justice. We envision a world in which resources are valued, cared for, and grown, and where this is generous and continuous sharing of these resources. We envision a worldwide collaboration in which forgiveness is the norm. We envision a world that has renewed its emphasis on beauty and nature and love through the resurgence of creativity, art, and aesthetics. We envision a world that works for all.
And to that we say, Amen. Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter would like to welcome you officially into our annual meeting, and we're going to start with a review of 2023. Go ahead. And as ever, just as we start in prayer, we want to begin by saying thank you to everyone who has been with us for 2023, because we could not do it without you, and we always strive to begin and end with gratitude. Go ahead. So within the review, first we have the people that were our Board of Trustees for the year, and you all can see those individuals there, many of whom have carried forward, and there has been some shifting that has happened. Go ahead, Vernon. And as you can see, some of those beautiful people had multiple hats that they've worn. Bev was on the board and a practitioner. Pat was on the board and a practitioner. And this is our group from the year 2023, inclusive of our tech wizard, whom at the time did not yet have the supports he has today. So I'm going to try to be pointing out some of the things that have changed and some of the things that we've advanced as we go along. Go ahead, Vernon. And some of those things, so as you can see, the beautiful Miss Pat is certainly with us. She did discontinue being our treasurer at the end of 2023. And around that same time, Louise Talon came in to be a practitioner with us for a short time. And she's not with us here today and actually hasn't been visiting because she went on to really embrace and embody her vision for what she wanted to do with her practitioner service. So we want to say thank you to them, and that's one big thing that's changed. Those positions have changed between 2023 and now. Go ahead, Vernon. Now, this is kind of fun for me because this is the very first slide that I created all on my own as a graph. That's a pretty big deal in Excel, guys. And also, it's really fun. I don't know if you can notice, I want to invite you. This is our monthly attendance for 2023 for the whole year. And along the side there, you've got the total number of people who attended each month. And then down at the bottom, you can see the different months. So the little dots will show you how it landed, how many people we had in attendance over a full month. And the fun part is, oh my goodness. So the top line on at the bottom where it actually spells it out, for 2023, our total attendance was 1,119 guests. And that's an average weekly of 21.5. The year before, in 2022, we had 1,177 with an average weekly attendance of 22.6. If you notice, that is almost exactly precisely one being per week less this year than was last year. You couldn't get any closer to exactly one person less. Of course, we would be delighted that we're one person more, but oh my goodness, that couldn't be more perfect. And so go ahead, Vernon. Now, I'm going to take care of our treasurer's report for 2023 because Pam is now our treasurer, but she's only been coming up to speed since January because she wasn't our treasurer in 2023. So it's not really fair to ask her to do that. And I don't know, it seemed like Doug might be asking me a question.
No, it's not important.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You know, I didn't say at the top of the meeting or the top of the service, if you have questions, write them down. We will have a Q&A period, and let us know your questions when we get to questions and answers. So go ahead, Vernon. Now, our review starts with our income. And again, this is for last year. This is for all of 2023. Our total Sunday offerings was 40,427. And then we had additional income and various fundraising things, you know, like the Kroger rewards, where if you have that reward when you go to Kroger, we get a percentage. And Amazon had the same program at that time, and then Giving Tuesday, and all of those things together came to $372. And then classes and workshops totaled $3,560. So if you add all that up together, our total income for 2023 was $44,359. Now we're going to look at expenses. So our expenses, and this is where some of our stuff really shifted from last year to this year, because we made a lot of changes in structure, which you'll see the difference of when we get to 2024. Our in-house accounting, which Pat shouldered exclusively for that entire year, was $7,665, and we paid our tech support team $5,100. Spiritual director, which was myself, was $14,420 for 2023. Our outside speakers, we invested $3,400. Our once-a-year insurance was $939, and you guys might remember we just paid that in July for this year. It's just interesting to me. I'm learning so much about how this works. And then we did have some professional accounting support last year as well, which was $3,504. And then this collective operations, I mean, there's so much in there. If we listed it out, that would be the whole meeting. And so our total for all kinds of extraneous stuff, software and the internet domains and our storage unit and different things, our post office box and printing and so forth, came to $5,217 for 2023. And then classes and supplies for the classes that we teach, and for the people that teach the classes and support the classes, was $1,300. And then charitable giving. Now, I really want you to understand, this is something that I'm learning about. We actually do 5% to home office, and we do 5% to charitable giving. So then one might ask, well, how come those numbers are slightly different? Well, so we accumulate the giving that we give to charities, and then we let it build up and we give it out a little bit differently than we do the tithe to home office. The tithe to home office, it comes in every month, and I just send it each month. So there's no variation in what's actually been paid out. And so if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer those questions at the end as well. Ultimately, for all of the year 2023, we came up with a loss of $1,456. And let's just take a breath, because that's the end of the review of 2023. So we're going to shift a little bit. Go ahead to the next slide, Vernon. Now we're moving into the information for the first 6 months of 2024 with a very positive outlook. Go ahead, Vernon. And I just want to name a couple of things that were big changes in 2024 before we get to the financial review. I have so much gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you to the entire board, and actually all of our leadership. But about these things I have listed here, they could not have been done without the board, because that was a shift from me being a practitioner into finalizing my ministerial school and actually getting licensed as a minister, and then getting my letter of call in order for me to be actually the senior minister of the center. And then the other thing, we hired a professional bookkeeping service and transitioned all of the work Pat was doing over to our bookkeeping service called Lankard. And those transitions were huge, and those are foundational, and they are in place. And so now we're able to move forward. Go ahead, Vernon. Okay, and some advances that we've had between 2023 and now. We have 75 people active in the LCSL community. And what I mean by that, 25, 30 people show up on a Sunday, but it's different people every week, as you all notice. And plus, the number of people that are calling and talking to me, or calling and talking to our practitioners, the kinds of things, the indications that we have that people are being affected by what we do, has increased to about 75 people. We still serve approximately 3 countries and 7 to 10 states overall. And if you notice, so we have these are the current programs that we offer. We're still doing First Wednesday, which is awesomeness, and sharing time after service has gotten to be one of the richest things that we have. Class offerings, I promise our next class is coming up. I just haven't been able to quite put together so I can announce it to you all. And then of course there's been events through home office as well, and we try to let you know about all those as much as we can. Wednesday Wistful Wisdom is going strong. And then we have the workshops that we've done. This year was the first year, 2024 was the first year that we did pet blessing. And we do plan on doing that each year right around Earth Day. Movie nights, the next movie night's going to be coming up as well. And then, as you all know, we have started in-person events. And so that's what's currently going on. Moving into 2025, absolutely more workshops, classes, and I have a book study in mind. I have to see how to structure. Katrina and I are still holding that we will begin a children and families program. That takes quite a lot of structure, and I just haven't been able to, she and I together haven't been able to launch that yet, because there's quite a bit you have to do to really do that well, because there's background checks and all kinds of things that are called for in order to start working with children. And then, of course, more in-person events. Go ahead, Vernon. Very quickly, I want to update you that our social media outreach is awesomeness. About this time when we did this meeting last year, we had around 19 or so YouTube subscribers. That has increased to 49. I've been holding, I wanted so much for that number to roll over to 50 for this meeting, which did not quite happen, but it will. And we now have 375 total recordings of services and workshops that LCSL has done. Those are full recordings. And with each month, the people that we have benefiting from our YouTube, one measure of it is in July, we had 327 total views. If you think about that, that's for 1 month. So that means over a 30-day period, an average of at least 10 people are checking out our YouTube, which is awesome. And we had 1,187 minutes watched in July alone. On Facebook, we now have 588 followers, and registered within the last 28 days. 431 people have checked out our Facebook page, and 73 of those people actually clicked on something. And then finally, we do want to remind you that we are now present also on Google and on Bing. Those are different areas where you can post like our recordings and stuff. And today, if you go to Google and you put in Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, we are the first one that will come up, which is really awesome. And that is totally due to Vernon's technical work and actually Katrina's inspiration. Katrina has a sense of knowing about media outreach, and she suggested a couple of the things that we have done. And thank you, Katrina. Go ahead, Vernon. And now I want to turn this over to our resident treasurer, Miss Pam Sweeney.
Thank you, Reverend Vicki, and hello, LCSL family. I'm Pam, as you all know, and I'm also proud to be your treasurer. So I'm going to just break things down. I'll go slowly, and if you have any questions, just hold them, okay? So let me take a look here to go over this with you. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so this slide here gives a visual picture of the current financial status of our income to our expenses so far for 2024, from January through June of this year. Some of you may recall this is the same graph that we looked at during the service at the end of June, before we had all the June to add to this up to $1,963.22 in June. Most gratefully, we know that July was a much stronger month. We don't have the exact numbers for July yet, but we know our income for July is at least $3,534. Isn't that amazing? We appreciate everyone for your gifts. From here, we'll just go to we do show the income and the expenses here broken down month by month. So I'll just let you take a look at that. Vicki, do you want me to read this? Okay, all right, you guys went on. Thank you. So from January to June of 2024, the budget review, income Sunday offerings, we had 15,162. Fundraising, we had $76, like from Amazon, Kroger, and on gift. And if you need any help in knowing how to set those up, I'd be more than happy to help you with setting those up where the money is just sent directly to the center. Each time you shop at Kroger, it's each time you shop at Amazon. Okay, and our classes and our workshops have generated $1,000. So that's awesome. And the income total so far, 6 months, 2024, $16,239. Okay, and these are our expenses for the 6-month period. The bookkeeping is $795. That's for 6 months. Tech support, $3,600. Spiritual director, Vicki, 6 months, $7,335. Outside speakers, $1,750. The next category we do not do, so we will skip over that. Professional accountant, $2,895, and my dog is going to start barking. And operations, again, these are categories that Vicki reviewed earlier. Tech, office, the post office box, just daily cost of existing. This is $2,588. Classes, instruction fees, and supplies, $375. Charitable giving, $850, and tithe to CSL home office, $811. So the total expenses are $20,000 and 999. Isn't that an interesting figure? Net loss is 4,760.
Thank you so much, Pam.
Okay, you're welcome, Vicki.
Another thing that I want to say about, to add on to everything that she has said, we know it's impossible to really take in these numbers in this kind of a space. Anyone, any one of you can ask to see our financials every month, and certainly you're welcome to come to our board meetings. If you come to a board meeting and just listen, that's fine. We're not going to expect anything of you. If you want to hear how we do this and what's actually going on, just come to a board meeting. They tend to be the last Monday of each month. And we'll keep you posted. But even if you don't want to come to a meeting, we will send you our financials that you can track each month if you would like. Go ahead, Vernon. So as you can see, because we have had quite a shortfall, and so far for this year, we're just over $4,000 down. We just wanted to break down what's possible. And we're not asking any one person to do this. We're not asking anyone who's already doing all they can to do any more. Because as you can see, as we're saying for July's numbers came in quite a bit stronger. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's certainly due to you all responding to what we've said. Moving forward, we need a flow consistently of about $800 more a month than we have in the previous month, say from March to June of this year, really is where the shortfall happened. So when I was looking at it, I said, okay, so if we need consistently about $800 more per month, how can we do that in a way that isn't any tremendous weight on anyone and doesn't have to make anybody feel bad? And God bless Doug Iverson, who is your board president, and Pam, your treasurer, and I think also Tammy Evans was helping me with this. We said if there were 20 people, which as you can see this morning we have just over 20 people here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If 20 people were able to give $10 per week more, or if you haven't been able to give it all, and you can't, if you were able to say, you know what, I think I can do $10 per week, then we would have the $800 per month. And again, if you cannot do that, that's fine. We want to see you here. We want to be with you. I'm just saying that this is a way that many hands make light work. Go ahead, Vernon. So just an update, we still have our unexpected income energy being generated. I haven't had any additional people tell me that they had unexpected income. However, I was realizing I never did myself include here. I am taking a class right now, which was gifted to me by Reverend Tony LaMotta. I'm sure most of you remember her. I'm in a class right now called Quantum Living, which is one of the classes that she would love to offer to our whole community, and I'm sitting with that. But in the meantime, that would be the kind of thing I really need to find out how much that class was worth, and then tithe on it, and then bump this up. We will do this for about another 30 days, and then we'll close it for the fall going into the holidays. Go ahead, Vernon. And this is, so that first slide was what has come into the center to each of you individually. And this is the one that's the 10% to the center. So far for this run of the unexpected income program, the center has been given $315. And now this is what your board of trustees looks like for 2024. As you can see, some of the positions are the same. Some of them are different. Pam Sweeney is now our treasurer. Doug is still our board president. God bless Joan Durbin. She's our secretary. If you're our secretary, that means you are the custodian of our minutes. And then Kelly and Susan are members at large who represent the voices of all of you who are members of the center. Notice there is a spot for you. There's a spot on either side of that slide that you could put your shining visage in. We would love to have a couple new board members as the year ends. It's really vital for a board to be able to have new people come on, and for the people that have been working for a couple, 3 years to be able to roll off. So if you have any interest in getting to know what the board does, or you'd like to work as a team with these beautiful people, please let us know, and we will ease you into it very gently. This is our practitioner team. Thank you, thank you. We have a fantastic practitioner team. All of these people are currently your practitioners. All of them hold the center in consciousness. Tammy Evans is Tammy number 3. She's our most recent new practitioner. Tammy Ellis and Katrina are current active practitioners. Tammy Seppenfield and Pat Ferguson, we're so grateful for your continued consciousness support. They are on sabbatical, which is why you don't currently see them doing Practitioner of the Week. And for that reason, go ahead, Vernon. I was going to finish that thought. For that reason, you'll see plans we need for the future. I am praying about attracting a couple new practitioners. Yes, we have lots of Tammy energy. So we also want so much to thank our tech team. If you'll notice, last year, the one person on the tech board was Vernon. Now we do officially have Katrina and Pam assisting Vernon. The ITS is letting people in. What did you guys say the ITS actually stands for? We're not remembering. It stands for something that's about the tech team. Yeah, the IT team. But they're Katrina and Pam are the people that let people in. And if you would like to learn that one simple thing, that would also support them, because letting people in when all this is going on is actually a pretty big deal to how smoothly it goes. And it's not very hard to do, and you would be rotating with at least 2 other people. Go ahead, Vernon. So now, just a few more things about the current state of the center. Just take a moment to look at this awesome picture, because this really shows so much about who and how we are today. I'm just going to let this sit for about 10 seconds so that you can see. You'll probably find, oh, Pat says ITS is internal technical services. People are trying to guess now what ITS means.
Katrina said IT service.
So anyway, this is just who and how we are now. That one picture up there in the left-hand corner, that is our most recent group picture. I took care to make sure that anyone requesting not to be made famous is not shown there. But go ahead and switch it over, Vernon. Oh, Doug says information technology specialist.
Okay.
Okay, so just a few more notes, and then I am going to turn this over to Doug for a few things that he would like to share. Again, I'm so grateful to all of our leadership, to the board, the practitioners, and the tech team. Without that structure, this would not be happening. And it's just so incredibly important to acknowledge. Now, I just want you to know that moving forward, my intention as your minister is that your experience of LCSL be so valuable, and that it give you such an opportunity to be a blessing and to be blessed, that you would not want to miss an LCSL event. Like, you're going to miss events, we know that, but you wouldn't choose to. You're going to miss every one of them that you're not able to attend. My intention is also for you to have personal connection and support through LCSL, so you know we care about you, and that you know that what matters to you matters to us. And just want to highlight the 2 in-person events that we've had that's really moving things forward. In April, we went to California Pizza Kitchen for the first time. Thank you so much, Pat, for giving us the opportunity. And that was extremely successful. So then we said, okay, now we're ready to do this, I figure probably every 3 or 4 months we're going to name for an in-person. So we did the Treehouse this last weekend, the 3rd and 4th of August. And I can very confidently say it was a smashing success. with special thanks to event hosts Joan Durbin and Susan Dumeyer, along with Steve Smuskowitz, who opened up his home on behalf of the people that came in from out of town. And we're always taking steps to increase the number of people whom we can serve, because we certainly know there are people that are looking for the kind of support we have. And then finally, still always working to expand our pastoral care and our text outreach. And so with that said, go ahead, Vernon. I turn this over to Doug Iveson. That's Doug.
Excuse me while I drink a glass of water. Hi, sweet people. So it takes a village, or in this case, a virtual village. And we've got some goals for January 1st, 2025. I'm just going to say briefly, personally, that I think that this community is really great at appreciating the principles of like commitment without attachment, like this or something better. Like this could be reachable and exceeded. So just feel free to play with this. We're not saying that this is right or wrong, and we're not saying that this is a limit. So to fulfill our mission so that every member of LCSL is personally thriving. I mean, again, this is our basic principles include a world that works for everyone. Let's make sure that we love everyone unconditionally, including ourselves here. To increase our average Sunday attendance from 25 to 40, that would be fun. To increase community being served from an average of 75 to 100. We would just love to have love in action, like we're just not just bringing stuff into being, we're bringing stuff to life. To expand our tech team by 1 or 2 people to be able to facilitate Sunday services and events. That would spread the load, lighten the load. It would also mean that we can have more breakout room stuff when we do workshops. There's just possibilities that become more easy to facilitate if we expand to that capacity. To attract 2 practitioners to join our fantastic practitioners, that matches that community being served intention. And that our income meets or exceeds expenses monthly. We've done that before, we can do it again. We are financially thriving. So ways we can support our goals include taking full advantage of LCSL services and events, and sharing information about LCSL where you can that is comfortable. I thought of a few people this morning who I already, during the service, extended an invitation to one of them. Forgive me, guys, for multitasking, but it felt like a fit. It felt like a match for the energy. To invite friends and family to join you on Sundays and for our events. To remember your regular giving when out of town or away on Sundays. I'll be honest, I slipped on that one time this year. To participate in the Unexpected Income Program. And again, this is not intended to be limiting to the possibilities of what we can play with, to be honest. During this service, I realized that I'm one of the ones who's going to be calling Pam Sweeney to set up my Kroger matching. It's not any cost to me. And, I haven't thought it through and done it before. So, there's definitely things to play with. And thank you to everyone who makes this community great. Thank you to our amazing volunteers. We understand that, whether you call it tithing or contributing, that we tithe of our talents, time, talents, and treasures. Your time, your energy. I mean, that's why we're here. And we're all bringing energy to this mix of being. And we're grateful for that. And passing things back to, actually, we're going to our closing song now, which is
no.
Kate Wolf. Is that, go? I'm
No.
going to pass it back to you, Vicki. I'm looking at the order of service and I see the closing song.
That's okay. So we're going to do question and answer just for the content of the meeting. And
Great.
then after that, we do open sharing.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Vernon's going to pause the recording so that people's questions can be not being worried about being recorded. Vernon's directing me. Okay, now the recording has started again, and we just want to say that we're going to go into closing song. This closing song so sings to our experience of this last weekend and where it's taken our whole community. And so I'm just so happy to be able to sing us out today on this particular song. It's Give Yourself to Love with Miss Kate Wolf.
Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say. But what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family, loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. And I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire, it's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you are ready, love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
And so to bring this to a complete close for the service itself, I invite you to say with me our benediction, me and Pooh Bear. Infinite presence, I give thanks for divine spirit in us all. I affirm that we each find our unique way to give, serve, and love. I know that divine takes pleasure in our inspired living, our intuitive actions, and in the sound of our voices uplifted in joy. Amen.